Man, this Saturday, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hyped for this one. And I say that not just because we've got two bangers in this case. I say it because this fight has been messing with my head all week. Jamahal Hill versus Khalil Rountree is one of those matchups where I keep flipping back and forth. Like every time I lean towards Hill, I start second guessing myself. And then I go, alright, maybe Khalil. And then boom, I start thinking about everything Hill does well. It's just one of those fights, man. This is a legit 50-50 type of matchup, and I'm not betting on this at all, and I mean that in every sense of the word. If you're one of those fans that say, oh, easy pick, I got this, you're either trolling or you haven't really sat down and thought about what both of these dudes bring to the table, because stylistically, in my opinion, it's a headache, a beautiful, violent, technical headache. And I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The fight is freaking hard to call. Let's just start with the basics, man. We got Khalil Rountree, the dense, explosive, short fuse power striker who wants to close the distance and take your head off. And across from him, you've got Jamahal Hill, the lanky, sharp-handed southpaw who's all about staying at range, picking you up apart, and breaking you down over time. These dudes couldn't be more different, and that's what makes it so damn hard to predict this fight. Because on one side, Rountree's got that blitz style, you know, when he goes off, he goes off. He doesn't tap you, he tries to rip your head off. That's how he hurt Pereira, that's how he dropped plenty of guys. It's that pressure, burst, fast twitch, fully commitment attack. But on the other side, Hill's entry is built around weathering the storm and turning the tide. He's not flashy, he's not explosive like Roundtree, but he's calculated. He's used to using that long jab, and if you're slowing down, even just for a little, he starts carving you up. And that's the problem. Khalil slows down, and to me, that's a real concern. We saw it against Pereira, and Roundtree had some good early moments, but once that pace started adding up and the rounds got deeper, Pereira took over. And if the same energy dip shows up here against Hill, who's known to build late in fights, bro, we could be looking at a repeat. But then again, you gotta ask, can Hill even get there this time? That's what's messing me up. He's coming off back-to-back knockouts. Yuri dropped him. Pereira flatlined him. That's not nothing. You get your brain rattled twice in a row, it starts to matter. And Rountree's not exactly a soft puncher, I would say. He's not just gonna walk you down and point fight. If he catches you clean, it might be lights out before Hill even gets a chance to build anything. So yeah, just looking at the core of it, it's like range and cardio versus pressure and violence. Who folds first? Who imposes their style first? That's what the whole fight comes down to. Now, with all that being said, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamahal Hill. I know it's a risky pick. Trust me, I sat here for a while. This isn't one of those confident, oh, he's gonna run with it type of picks, okay? This is I think he survives the early chaos and starts to take over once he starts settling down type of pick, you know? Like, look, Hill's coming off two rough fights. Pereira starched him and Yuri broke him down. But let's be real, those dudes aren't normal power punchers. They're tier 1, built different, touch you and your soul leaves your body kind of power. Roundtree? Yeah, he still hits hard, but it's different. It's not the same effortless kill shot power that Pereira or Yuri has. Khalil needs to load up. He needs momentum behind it. He needs to be sprinting at you to land big stuff. And that's where Hill's range, timing, and hand speed start to matter, because people sleep on Hill's boxing. The dude's got slick straight shots. He's got a laser left hand, and when he's in rhythm, he doesn't miss often. What I like about Hill in this matchup is that he doesn't need to brawl to win. He can sit in that sweet mid-range pocket, keep Khalil off balance with the jab, body shot, even mixing kicks to slow the pace. If he can just keep his back off the cage, he's gonna have those moments where Khalil starts standing still, starts breathing heavy, and that's when Hill starts to shine. Something else we haven't talked about much is that Hill's willingness to get grimy. Like, he's not just a clean boxer, he'll clinch, he'll rip in knees, he'll punch you in the gut 5 times just to drain your tank. We saw that against Yuri. Hill was still in that fight after getting rocked. He was clinching, trying to dirty it up. That's the kind of grit that matters in this fight, especially if Khalil can't get him out there early. And one more thing, Khalil's defense just isn't that great in my opinion. Like, yeah, he fights with that high Muay Thai shell, you know, but that's not gonna stop clean straight punches from getting through. He's not moving his head, he's not slipping jabs, and he's not reacting fast enough once he starts getting touched. He's more of a bite down and bang out type of guy, you know? That's dangerous against someone like Hill, who wants to sit down on his punches and catch you mid-exchange. So for me, it's not about Hill being perfect. He's not. He's flat-footed, his defense is leaky, and yeah, his chin might be concerning. But it's all about who can win the moments after the storm, and I think Hill can do that. I think he weathers the early fire, uses the jab to create space, starts walking Khalil into shots, and taking over by the 3rd or 4th round. And maybe he gets finished. Maybe he just drowns him in volume. But either way, I'm picking Hill to get it done, to keep his career alive, get back in the win column, and remind everybody that he's still a problem at 205 when he's focused. And look, while we're being honest, let's talk about Khalil Rountree's power, because yeah, it's heavy, but I feel like people overhype it a bit. Like anytime you hear his name, like, oh, that guy can knock out anyone. But if we're keeping it real, when was the last time he flatlined someone cold? You got to go back and check. Most of his knockouts are either cumulative beatdowns or TKOs from volume once the guy's already worn down. The Anthony Smith finish, that wasn't a one-shot walk-off. That was a third-round attrition. And even then, Anthony Smith is basically a punching bag with a mouthpiece at that point. You tag him clean and he starts drifting. It's not like Khalil's walking in there with Ngannou-like touch of death power. He's dangerous, yes, but a lot of it comes from the way he blitzes in. The explosiveness, the momentum, the panic he creates when he comes in flying in. That's the difference from having that clean, efficient power like Pereira or Yuri. Those guys barely load up and still put dudes out. Khalil needs to rev the engine, and if you can stop that initial charge, he becomes a lot more manageable. Hill's not the guy to get bulldozed unless you're catching him early and clean, and even then, he's not easy to finish unless it's someone with ridiculous power and precision. That's why I'm not sold on the whole Khalil's just gonna put him out narrative. If that was truly his game, we'd be seeing him sleeping more people more consistently, but we don't. And yo, since we're being real about this whole thing, I gotta say, man, Khalil Rountree just hasn't really proven anything to me that screams elite. I know that might rub some people the wrong way, especially after that Pereira fight where he had his little moments, you know? But come on, bro. Let's not act like he's been running through top guys his entire career. I mean, look at his resume. It's kind of shaky. I mean, let's talk about it. The dude lost to Johnny Walker. Back when Walker was the kung fu cartwheel and spinning elbow and everyone thought he was the second coming of Anderson Silva or something. Khalil got styled on, and then you got to go back to the Ian Cutelaba fight where Cutelaba just straight up ragdolled him. It wasn't even competitive. And Cutelaba, let's be honest, is the most inconsistent chaos merchant in the division. That guy either crushes people or completely implodes. And against Khalil, it looked like wrestling practice. So when I hear people hype up Roundtree as his next contender at 205, I'm like, bro, based on what? A gritty loss to Pereira? A third round TKO over a wash Anthony Smith? Like, yeah, he hits hard, he's intense, he's emotional in his post-fight speeches, but that doesn't mean he's ready for guys like Hills. Emotions doesn't win you fights when your cardio fades and the jab starts popping in your face, okay? And don't get me started on the kicks either. I know I already brought that up earlier, but it's worth doubling down on. People keep saying, oh, Khalil has some of the nastiest leg kicks in the division. Cool, show me, because ever since that Eric Andrews fights where he actually looked like a Muay Thai demon, it's like he just stopped kicking. He gets in there and falls in love with his hands. If you're telling me he's gonna beat Hill by chopping his legs up, I need to see that version of Khalil. I need to see if that actually exists, you know? Not just one every 3 years when he decides to wake up and go full Muay Thai mode. And yeah, let's flip it. Let's keep that same energy. I'm not going to act like Jamahal Hill is some perfect polished bulletproof fighter either. Like I mentioned earlier, his footwork is sloppy as hell. Like generally, if you watch him walk around the cage, he literally waddles. He's flat-footed, his movement is basic, and sometimes he gets so confident in his boxing that he just overextends, like he's shadow boxing a heavy bag with no consequences. It's definitely something Khalil could capitalize on early if he times clean shots. But here's the thing, even with those flaws, Hill is the more proven fighter, period. Like, it's not even close. He knocked out Thiago Santos, who, yeah, well, probably wasn't on his prime anymore during that fight, but he also flatlined Johnny Walker in a round. And that was a sharper version of Walker than the one that fought Roundtree. And let's not forget, Hill beat Glover Teixeira over 5 rounds. He didn't just survive, he dominated him. Pieced him up with jabs, stayed composed, fought like a grown man. Then he went in there with Yuri, and yeah, he got caught, but go back and watch that fight, he was in it. He was competitive, he made Yuri work. That's what makes me lean Hill. It's not just about his technique or explosiveness. It's about his resume. It's about who's been in the deeper waters, who's held their own when it matters. Jamahal Hill has fought the better guys. He's won the bigger fights. And yeah, he had setbacks, but he has them against the elite. Rountree's still out there, moral victories and post-fight sympathy points. So while I stack it all up, experience, composure, shot selection, and yeah, the level of the guys they both face, I'm more confident in Hill showing up and doing what he needs to do. It won't be clean, it won't be pretty, but I trust him to get it done more than I trust Khalil to stay consistent for 15 to 25 minutes. And hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Khalil Rountree walked in there, locked in, focused, and just puts the hands on Hill from the jump. Maybe he blitzed early, finds that clean overhand, and turns the lights out. I'm not pretending like that outcome is off the table. This is MMA, anything can happen, especially when you've got two dudes like this who both bring legit danger. And I'll be real with you, that possibility creeps in every time I think I've locked in my pick. I keep imagining Hill getting caught with something clean, that flat-footed stance, and that tendency to overextend. The fact that he's coming off 2 straight knockouts, that stuff doesn't just disappear overnight. All it takes is one clean bomb from Khalil in round 1 and we're having a whole different conversation Sunday morning. But even with that in mind, I just have to pick Hill here. I really can't go with Roundtree, man. Not confidently, not based on what we've seen over the years. Because here's the difference. Hill may be flawed, he may be hittable, slow on the feet, and a little reckless at times. But he's still in those big moments. He stood across from legit killers and come out on top. He showed grit. He's shown adaptability, and when he's dialed in, his hands are serious business. I trust his straight shots more than Khalil's wide hooks. I trust the jab, his left hand, his shot selection. Even if he gets hurt early, I trust Hill to dig in, survive, and find rhythm. Khalil, he's powerful, explosive, but he's also one-dimensional, and that dimension doesn't always show up when it needs to. If he doesn't nuke you in the first 7 minutes, he starts looking like a guy running out of answers. And unless Jamahal Hill is completely shot, and I don't think he is, I think he weathers the storm, starts picking Khalil apart, and either way wins a decision or puts him away in the late. It's not a confident pick. It's not some lock of the week, you know? But when I really sit with everything, the styles, the history, the mental side, the momentum, I really gotta lean with Hill. I'm picking him to find his moments, land something clean, and remind people that he still got it. So yeah, calling it a gut instinct, calling it overthinking, whatever. But for me, it's Jamahal Hill to take it home. But I guess we'll find out Saturday, am I right? But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments down below. And as always guys, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.